Hi, this is Mike Sweeney from Saber Coaching with a story living on the edge of the upper limit. It's been about 3 months since I last took a walk in the woods and put down some thoughts of how things are going now that I've made this courageous, to me, career transition. And I think the last time it was excitement, I was beyond the edge, there was some newness, and I was eating healthy and I was exercising. And I had all this energy for videos, and then holidays came. And healthy eating went out the window. I got injured, so I couldn't run as much. And I lost the steam on these videos. So it feels like now I'm shifting from beyond the edge to just living on the edge. So if you wait till the end, you're gonna hear probably a different outro music, and you can probably guess what it is. But I'm out here in the morning. It's super calm, super relaxing. Snickers is with me, and I came across this idea of the upper limit problem when I read a book by Hendricks called The Big Leap. And it was a concept I had never heard before, but it resonated, so I'll give him credit for the concept, but I'll talk a little bit about it and how it applies to me, and then how I'm getting myself around this. So his idea is that you have this inner thermostat that determines how much joy, excitement, love, success, creativity that we allow ourselves to have. And when we shift into periods of extended emotions like that, something in our body or in our brains decides to put on the brakes. And we engage in some self-sabotage, periods of worry, panic, paranoia, to bring us down into the more comfortable range. So I felt like I've started to bump up against that a little bit. So on the Saber coaching side, November, December, January were 3 of the best months I've ever had. On the Rally Bright side, November, December, January were 3 of the best months that the company's ever had. I think November might have been the record. Certainly there's a lot of other people involved in that work. But on the Saber coaching side, that one's me, plus a couple of folks who are in support. And on the relationship side, intimate relationships are better. Relationship with my daughters are better, especially my oldest. More time for friends and fun, and I'm plagued, or at least I had been, with periods of worry, of anxiety, of massive irritability, of lethargy, just feeling idle, avoidance behaviors like diving into YouTube, scroll, and I don't even know why or what started that, but that's costing me some sleep here and there. Sleep quality's down a little bit, and I even got to the point where the story I was telling myself was I wasn't going to have enough money to pay child support, I was going to end up in jail, I wasn't going to be able to support my kids' college education, and none of that stuff is factually accurate, but it's there. So the question that Hendricks put to himself as he was wrestling with his own upper limit problem is it possible to feel great all the time? Or at least the majority of the time? Is it possible to live in harmony, to live with intimacy? And those are the things that I've been wrestling with, or testing, learning, trying, as I sit here living on the edge. Well, so here's what I'm paying attention to and what I'm trying. The first is self-talk. I do a lot of this work with my clients, but I have all the same voices and saboteur. Mine are getting sneakier and harder to suspect. Like they know that I know that they know that I know. It's very much like that Friends cycle. But starting with the self-talk and just bringing more self-compassion to the voice that I choose to use. There's some exercises in the book by Dr. Kristen Nuff of same name, Self-Compassion, that I'm finding to be helpful. I think they have a 3-chair exercise where, you're the person you're judging yourself, you're receiving the judgment, and then you're observing yourself receiving the judgment. And you can find some wisdom from that in situations. But a lot of it starts with just paying attention to who's got the microphone. Second is just generally continuing with the mindfulness practice. I've had a good streak of somewhere over 500 days where I've consistently shown up for at least 5 minutes a day, and I think that's helping. But there's a couple of packs in Headspace around self-compassion, or one that I've repeated a couple times, and I found that to be, there's a couple questions that you ask yourself that I've found that to be helpful. And just giving myself the permission to treat myself like a friend. You know, hey, this is hard. You're gonna try some stuff and you're gonna fail. You're gonna need some extra support. You don't have to know all this, or you're not expected to. How could you possibly? That sort of language is helping me get that excitement and motivation back. Theme for the year for me really is like, keep trying, it's working. Depending on how you define success, if you look at it objectively and look at you know, excitement, better quality work, better revenue, it seems like something's working. I mean, it's scary, it's difficult, but you know, keep trying. Really hear compliments and feedback. So I've had a few moments where I've gotten an NPS survey that's been great, a 9 or a 10 from a client at the midpoint survey, and you know, read those as much as I read the 6 or the 8. I haven't gotten a 6 yet, which is nice, but just read those and pay attention to not just what's not working, but what's working. And I have a couple people unsolicited have said, hey, this piece of content that you put out, or this video that you did, or this post that you made really inspired me. And that's my jam. If I'm inspiring leaders to master their craft, I'm in the right happy place. Finally, like, plan some celebrations, you know, ring the bell, toot the air horn. A couple things I had were specifically I wanted to buy myself a ski pass and a whole bunch of new ski stuff. Did that toward the end of the year. Planned a trip to Utah, done. Another trip to Utah and hopefully maybe Colorado at the same time, done. And those are the sort of things that I can take a moment and celebrate. And paying attention to mindset. It feels different when I'm in abundance, which is one of my values, versus when I'm in scarcity. And when I go down that spiral of gonna end up in jail, that's probably a scarcity mindset popping in. And if you're facing the upper limit problem, hopefully those are a few things that are helpful. And I'll continue to share some thoughts as I'm living on the edge. And I hope you have a good one.